Wow, good evening, everyone. Did you enjoy that singing? I reckon it's so beautiful. It lifts the heart. And thank you so much again for coming this evening. I give you all a very special welcome. And for those of you who are listening out there in the downlink sites, we also give you a very special welcome. Now, somebody shared with me a very interesting story that's happening in Wellington, in New Zealand. The Soloni family are listening to the messages that are coming from here. And so this evening, I'm sure you're in front of a screen, and I give you, the Soloni family, a very special welcome this evening. Tonight, I'll be talking about exercise. Now, let me tell you something about exercise. It's a very interesting story. But do you know that approximately 70% of Samoans, females, don't do regular exercise? Are you listening to me? And approximately 50% of Samoan men don't do regular exercise. So we have a big problem. So let's talk about exercise. Please come with me and let's share something about exercise. The human body is made up of a lot of muscles. How many muscles? 642 muscles. I believe there's still some muscles we haven't discovered yet. I don't know. But there's about 642 muscles altogether. And you know why there's so many muscles there? Because God intends us to be active, to move, to not to just sleep, but to be able to move and carry on activities. It is so important to realize that because of that, the body is meant for what? The body is meant for movement. And so it is so important to remember that. So what is exercise? Exercise is the activity of exerting your muscles in various ways to keep fit. And it is very important to realize, I've written it down there that you can read, without adequate physical activity or exercise, a person can become sick very quickly. Oh yes, this is clear. We see statistics relating to that in a very significant way. Now let me just come now and share a little bit about the benefits of exercise this evening. It's for everybody. Okay? It's for everybody. Age is no barrier. Well, of course, little babies, they don't need to be exercising. Well, they do the exercise in the bed, pushing their legs and hands and doing all kinds of things, Yeah, so age is not a barrier. Even when you're old, you can still do this, and pump it up, and things like that. So age is no barrier. It's so important to realize that. Now, being active can have big health benefits to the life and to the soul of anybody that's involved in it, in terms of reducing the chances of you becoming sick. It is so crucial to understand that, my dear people. We talked about, not long ago, about heart disease, about stroke, about high blood pressure, and I mentioned to you briefly about the importance of exercise. And so exercise is just so important. There are many diseases, that are common in our society today that are related to inactivity and inadequate physical activity. And so it is so important. Now let's look at a little diagram here. Come with me, because I think this is very important. In life, we eat and we work. That's what God intended. You remember there was a slide that I showed you regarding work and rest and work. That happens in the life. It's something that God has given to us to do. Okay, now here, when we eat, what happens? Energy comes into the body. We talk about energy in terms of calories. Calories equals energy. Okay. So when we eat, energy goes in, but that energy has to be used by the body. by the physiological processes that happens in the body. But at the same time, you need to do some physical activities as well to burn that energy. And so there has to be a balance. Calories in, calories out, energy out. Imagine if you're eating all the time and there's no expansion of energy. What's going to happen to you? Something develops. That energy that is not used, or that calorie that is not used, is converted into fats. Are you listening to me? And it gets deposited in the body. That is important, a very important principle to think about. And so, overeating, energy in, little energy out, what happens? Less exercise and physical activity, you have imbalance. There is a state of imbalance in the life. And it's so important for us to realize, dear brothers and sisters, because this gives rise to problems like this. You know, brothers and sisters, when I saw this picture, I was in tears. I was sorry for the motorbike. Not the man, the motorbike. Look at him. When there is energy imbalance, we put on excess weight. Energy in, energy must be used. If it's not used enough, it deposits in the body as fats and we blow up. It's so important to realize that. And because of this imbalance, it is so important to realize that these problems here, which we call lifestyle diseases, is becoming a major issue, major problem in our region in the South Pacific today. And so exercise is not something that, you listen to and you laugh about. Exercise is so important. Look at the benefits of exercise. Let's just go through this very quickly. It reduces the risk of diabetes, reduces the risk of developing high blood pressure. It reduces the risk of many different cancers, helps you maintain a normal weight. It reduces feelings of depression and anxiety, and I'll explain why that happens very shortly. It helps to build and maintain healthy bones, muscles, and joints. And it promotes psychological well-being. You are happy when you go exercising. I tell you, you try, and you'll be happy. This morning I went up to the towers, and when I got there, you know what happened? I felt so good. I felt so good. Yeah. All right? And so it's important. All right? Exercise is a very important way of counteracting a lot of the lifestyle diseases that we experience right here in our region in the South Pacific today. And so it is just so important. Exercise helps you to maintain a normal blood pressure. Now, may I ask you, what is normal blood pressure? All right, you sing it there. That's the upper limit of normal, 120/80. Remember this one? This is called the systolic. You don't have to remember this. The lower figure is diastolic. This one happens when the heart beats, boom. And this one comes about when the heart rests. Anybody with a blood pressure 130 on 90, 140 on 90, and up has some problems with high blood pressure. And so it's very important to realize that. And so exercise helps us maintain a normal blood pressure. So important. Exercise helps us to what? Prevent getting, you know what I mean? Like this, folks. Energy in the South Pacific, you have a small plate like this. I'm going to repeat this again. A small plate like this. In the South Pacific, even though it's small, the mountain is so big like this. Hey, we have a problem. All right? Let's cut it down a little bit and do a bit more exercise. All right? And so it prevents problems like this. And I told you earlier, this is not my uncle. This is somebody else. All right. And so look at obesity. Look at obesity and the problems that it gives rise to. Diabetes, heart disease, ulcers in the stomach, in the tummy, high blood pressure, cancer, sleep problems. You're big like this, you can't sleep properly, like that, every night. It causes a lot of problems, and so there's a lot of problems with obesity that we see in our region today. Exercise helps to cut down on the weight, to maintain a normal weight. It is so important to realize that exercise helps us prevent myocardial infarction or heart attacks by lowering the bad fats in the body and increasing the good fats in the blood. I won't bore you with the names of these fats. You don't really need to know about this one. But remember that exercise lowers the bad fats, increases the good fats, and it helps us maintain normal blood pressure. And in that way, you protect your heart in a significant way. Oh, this is just so important. And remember that because, we need to know that. Exercise by maintaining a normal blood pressure helps to prevent stroke from happening. Okay, this is crucial. This is important for us to understand. When the blood pressure goes up too high, the blood vessel will burst. And we see so many of this problem in the South Pacific today. And if it happens in the brain, you have stroke. One side of the body goes weak and you fall down. It's a very debilitating illness, stroke. And so exercise helps in a very significant way by lowering the bad fats level in the blood and by helping us maintain normal blood pressure. So important. Now, if you put your hand up here in the neck, you will feel an artery pumping away. We call that the common carotid artery. Right there you can see this is a common carotid artery, and right there is a big fat lump that has almost completely blocked that big artery. This artery goes up a little bit here, and it separates into the internal and the external carotids. The internal carotid supplies the brain. The external supplies the face. But when you have these sort of problems, you can develop stroke very easily. And exercise helps to maintain normal fat levels, increase the good fats, decrease the bad fats, so that it prevents this artery from clogging up. And so it is so important for us to realize that. Exercise helps to prevent diabetes. If a person has diabetes already, exercise helps to control the level of blood sugar in the blood. Exercise is a good thing, diabetics. Do a lot more exercise if you want your blood pressure to be maintained at a normal level. This is diabetes. One of the biggest problems with diabetes is that people develop ulcers in the feet. They call them gangrene. This is a terrible disease, and a lot of Pacific Island people have this problem, and a lot of them would have a below-knee amputation because of diabetes and infection in the foot. Exercise helps to strengthen the bones. Yes, the muscles, but at the same time the bones. All right? So that it doesn't break easily as you get older. We call that osteoporosis. Exercise helps to strengthen the bones. That's why there is no age limit for exercise, young people and old people. It is very good that we do more exercise. Exercise helps to improve mental health. It improves mood and the way that you feel about yourself. Exercise can also reduce depression and anxiety and help you cope better with life. Oh, this is a blessing from God. And so don't forget, do some exercise starting tomorrow. It helps to reduce stress. Are you listening to me? Are you stressed? Go for a walk. You'll feel good. I can assure you that. It helps to release stress by releasing some special chemicals that is released by the brain, okay, called endorphins. These are naturally produced chemicals in the body that helps to soothe the pain. They make you feel happy. You are joyful. That's why when I got to the top, I felt so good, so happy, because I'm sure I released a lot of endorphins. And so do the same, and you'll feel the same, dear brothers and sisters. All right, so make you think better, cope better with stress. It's so important to know and to realize that. Exercise improves vitality and energy levels. It improves the body's ability to make more energy when you exercise, okay? And so, some very positive things about exercise. Now, please, don't wake up tomorrow in the morning and you start from the house and you start running to the airport. Please don't do that. You know what I mean? You've never run before. Don't start run from there. You won't get very far. You might just get somewhere there and your heart stops. Okay, it is so important to know some principles before you start to doing some active exercises. So let's talk about this just very quickly. Start safe. Okay? Get advice. If you have a high blood pressure, you must know your blood pressure. Then you need to see a doctor. Do I have any chest pain that goes to my left arm when I'm walking or when I'm jogging? All right? You need to tell the doctor about this because this could be heart pain. Okay? Very important to realize that. Do I get headaches or feel dizzy when I'm doing, like when I'm around, when I'm working? It's very important to get that fixed up first before you do some exercise. And do I get short of breath with chest pain when I walk or climb hills? Get yourself checked before you start running from here to the airport. Okay, very important. I drove down when I arrived here. This was 2 weeks ago. And I asked the taxi driver, can I do some jogging along here? I'd like to run along this road. And he said, is it safe? I said, and he said, no. Oh, so there must be a lot of criminals in up here. So is that right? And he said, no. Oh, so what's the problem? He said, dogs. Dogs. Okay, so, all right, so you run, but you carry one stick with you. That's what he said to me. All right, so, okay, if you have any answers to this, yes to any of these questions, then you need to have some medical advice. It is very important that you are checked before you, and you know your status, health status, before you can begin to do some exercise. Start slow. Otherwise, you fall down like this man. Too often, people are so determined to start exercising, they go too hard, too fast, and what happens? They have problems. They develop pains, and cramps, and problems of that nature. So start slow. The recommended principle is that you walk 30 minutes, slow first. As you get used to it, walk faster. Eventually, you'd like to do brisk walking, which means that you are a little bit short of breath, but you can still talk in sentences. So if you have a mate walking with you, you are going like this, but you can still be able to talk in sentences. He will still be able to understand you. Okay? That's very important to know and understand. So start slow. Exercise at least 30 minutes. To be able to reap benefits from your exercise program, 30 minutes is a good figure. Okay? If you want to maintain your weight, 30 minutes. If you want to lose some weight, go 60 minutes. Okay? 60 minutes. So what I'm saying here is maybe you go a little bit more. 60 minutes rather than just 30 minutes. All right? You get to your the weight that you want to get to, and then maintain it with 30 minutes walks every morning or every evening. Okay? That would be good. All right. What else? Vary your programs. Sometimes you walk. Maybe sometimes if you're fit enough, you can run. Or sometimes you can work in the garden. Otherwise, it can become boring. Okay? And so vary the activities. Vary the exercise programs that you'd like to do because that is just so important. Make it enjoyable. Now listen to this because this is very important. Exercise should be viewed as an opportunity and something to be enjoyed, not an obligation or a burden to you. Don't go exercising because Dr. Kuma said I must exercise. That's wrong. Okay? You want to do some exercises because it is good for your body. And you tell yourself that. It's good for my body, so I need to wake up and go for a walk. Walk with a spouse or friend so that your relationships can also benefit from this activity. Don't go alone. Have somebody with you. Walk your wife or your children. Make it fun. Okay? It's meant to be fun, not an obligation or a burden to you. Exercising with someone else also helps with motivation. Okay? Now that's a good one. That's a very good one. So remember that. I think this is an important one for us to remember. Be moderate with your exercise, all right? If you experience pain during your exercise session, have it checked out by your doctor. As I've said, exercise should be enjoyed, not endured. Okay, that's very important principle to remember here. Okay, now listen to this one because this is important. Stop exercising. If you're jogging and you feel some of these problems here, headache, cramp, you feel pain in the chest, or experience sudden shortness of breath, stop. Seek help. You understand what I'm saying? It's very important to realize that. A left-sided chest pain that is associated with shortness of breath and the pain going to the left arm while you're walking is heart pain or angina pain, and that can be serious. That is heart problem. And so stop and seek help. That is very, very important to remember as you begin contemplating on doing some regular exercise. I've summarized the benefits here for you. Look at that. Let me just read through very quickly. The benefits of exercise. There's lowered a risk of heart and blood vessel disease, lowered blood pressure levels, decreased risk of blood clots, improved stress management, lowered heart rate and improved heart rhythm, improved mental outlook. Look at this. Improved management of body weight, improved glucose tolerance and control of diabetes, reduced risk of colon cancer. Whoa, this is amazing. Increased bone strength, decreased risk of breaking of bone in the elderly. It strengthens the muscles. It enhances flexibility. It improves circulation and sleep. We talked about sleep already. Remember that one. It strengthens the immune system. The immune system is the system in the body that protects us from infection and from disease. Boy, look at all the benefits, but look at this. This is just absolutely amazing of all lifestyle choices. Exercise comes after non-smoking as the behavior that contributes positively to every dimensions of life. What do you say to that? Amen. Do some exercises, dear brothers and sisters. It will help you. It will help you physically. It will help your mind, as we've already seen. Walk with the wife or the children, social dimension. And let me tell you something, when you are exercising, your mind is clear. You can be able to communicate well with your Maker, your God, and your Savior. Oh, this is wonderful, isn't it? It is a blessing that is for you and for me to experience. So all you need is a good pair of, a good pair of shoes. Please, but not gumboots. No gumboots here. Okay? A good pair of shoes. That's all you need. And of course, a good shirt and a good trousers, and go walking. It's free. It's free, dear brothers and sisters. So, please, stop snoring when you should be already awake at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay? And start walking, dear brothers and sisters. Samoa, we need to be more active in our life and in our practices. It is just so important. Can I read to you a text as our closing this evening? Listen to this because I think it has very close relevance to what we've been talking about. You see, the reason why you're exercising is because you want to cut down on your weight. so that you can be strong, you can be effective in your life, you can prevent all the diseases, cut down on the weight. Listen to this, Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1 to 3. Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every what? Every weight. Now we're talking the weight of sin. We don't need to carry those weights. Cast it to Jesus, and He will take it away from you. But listen to this as we go on. And the sin which easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before Him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Lose that fat so that you can be healthy, so that you can live long and postpone the funeral service. But lose that weight of sin that you are carrying with you this night. Cast it to Jesus and let Him carry that weight for you so that you can run with endurance the race that is set before us. Oh, brothers and sisters, may God bless you tonight as you ponder upon this health talk tonight. Thank you, and God bless each one of you.